In this video, we're taking a look at the Oregon Ducks versus Penn State in the Big Ten Championship game. We're going to jump right in. First thing we're looking at is just the passing game from Oregon. Very efficient. Ended up going 22 of 33, an average 8.8 per pass for 283 yards. A really good night. 4 touchdowns as well for Dylan Gabriel. So we're going to jump right in and see what takes place. So right here on this one, real simple concept. You just got 4 receivers out here in a diamond set. You got an outside receiver. Right here looks like they're running inside zone base. You got a fade down here. And right here, the numbers are great. You just got 2 guys down here. We can even double that up to whatever shows up. Work through that to the safety. Rip it out there to him. Plenty of tempo right here. 27 left on the play clock. Great job. Just get the ball in space. If you don't like it out there, you can get quarterback run, or you can go one-on-one outside here to that single receiver. But right here, obviously, numbers are great. Rip it out there to him. Easy catch. And now we're rolling right there. Of course, Ted Johnson had a heck of a day. Had 181 yards receiving on 11 receptions right here. Just the easy completion. And then right here, just being an explosive player. Outrun some guys. Great job here blocking on the edge. You can see basically have to double team this guy up. Not a great job here by, I think that's the running back, Jordan James. So right there, probably doesn't do this as much as these receivers as far as stalking, but right there misses that outside linebacker, lunges, but just gets just enough of them right there. Ted Johnson on the edge. Explosive player, makes a guy miss, creates a big play. Next play we're looking at right here, just a little bit of motion here, and really just kind of a vertical switch. So he comes in here going to the seam, outside release. Now he's the vertical on the outside. And the safety doesn't do a great job of switching this off. So once he works inside the safety, he's feeling it. He knows he's supposed to be man-to-man here. Roll this back and you see, hey, this is obviously man-to-man. Safety doesn't do a great job of getting underneath that, fighting through that. Just like a screen in basketball, you got to fight through that to get there. Instead, he just kind of hangs on that seam, thinking that maybe this outside receiver is the throw as he's working in. And, of course, once he does that, Dylan Gabriel just rips it out there. Quick release here by Gabriel. Looking at one, don't like it. Now we can work outside with that little bit of a rub and gets it out. And of course, if you didn't like it, if he gets over the top of it, now you got basically a drive concept. He's working underneath and looks like a dig here as well. But on this one, likes his second option, drills it to him. And then of course, Sadiq right here just going up and over. I mean, this is an extremely athletic looking play by a tight end. Oh, I mean, that looks like a hurdler right there. Great hips to get up and over, and then also just stay on your feet and finish in the end zone right here is what he does. So unbelievable play, pretty good design. Great job by Dylan Gabriel not falling asleep and thinking that guy's not going to be open just based on man-to-man and giving one of your best players the ball in space and let's see what happens. Another look of getting Sadiq the ball here on the goal line. This time heavy set. You got tight ends, you got receivers, and these guys are releasing, basically going to the middle of the field. Will faking the toss right here to the running back, and of course they do this in a lot of different ways. They do this out of bunch. And this is basically bunch just with some heavier bodies. Catches it, and again, fake the toss, trying to get these guys to hang in there when they're working. When these tight ends are working across their face on this post, they get caught up. And right here, as you can see, 41, he's probably the guy that's supposed to be manned up right here. He does a poor job of getting there to it. One could possibly be that guy as well, but whatever's happening, their eyes are in the backfield. They see this toss, and they don't see this tight end leaking to the front pylon. Gabriel, great job. Hey, put on his body. We don't really have to lead this guy. Make an easy throw and catch right there on his face mask. And that's what to do right there. Easy touchdown. Already second one of the day here for the Ducks to go up 14-3, start building that early lead. I thought it was a good play, and I saw another team run this the exact same day and have the exact same result as well. So our motion into a triangle, and we're running a slot fade. So fade right here. Right here looks like they're running an out route or something here, trying to stretch the defense. Then an out route here by number 3. And really, you probably look one to that first out route. Maybe slot fade if you like your matchup, and then an out route right here. But you got to throw this on time. You can't throw this late on the out route, especially on the goal line. And as you see, as a tight end right here, Ferguson, he's releasing. He releases right at this defender. Right there, strong safety, puts his foot in the ground. And that's too much space. 2 yards right there on the goal line. I mean, obviously, you got to close this space here on the tight end a little bit better. And on this one, you can see Dylan Gabriel, he's looking over here. Not sure what they're working right here. Maybe he's working to a slant or an option route. He ends up fading since it's 2-on-1. Right here on this one, gets off of it. And boom, once you see that space from that defender, you've got to get this thing out quick. As you see, his head's just now starting to get out. He's starting his rotation with his arm to rip it. Got to put it on his body. Great accurate throw and great timing. Boom, as soon as he turns out, too much space there. We're going to take that every single time. Easy don't catch. Edge of the end zone on an easy out route. So right there, really poor job there by number 1. Got to close that space, especially on the goal line, a lot faster. Right on this look, Oregon starts off in a trips look. Everybody's mugged down, so on 3rd and 9. So it's probably one of those things they're trying to say, hey, is this man or zone? And right here, they motion their back out. Hey, obviously right here, once they motion out, this is going to be man-to-man. These guys are blitzing here. But the good thing about it is 5-on-5 pro. Feel good about it. Now you got a one-on-one here. They're running what's called a jerk route. Getting a basic here as well if you don't like that jerk as far as having a chance to get a first down. But right on this one, motion out. And really, as soon as he sees, hey, it is man-to-man, this is his number one look right here for this jerk route. You see again, it's Tez. You see he starts working out. I'm one-on-one with this guy. With the one-on-one route that everybody loves. Puts his foot in the ground on the outside. Now he works flat. Nobody left in the middle of the field right there because everybody else is blitzing. Easy throwing catch. Now we're going to be able to roll right there towards the first down. 3rd and 9, and he catches this thing at about 5-6. And right there, too much space right there against man-to-man. Great job understanding what's happening. A little bit of motion told him everything. Of course, if you don't like the jerk route, now you got this basic working back in. Looks like he runs out, then back in. So probably 1, 2, check down right here. And of course, if you would like your matchup whenever he works out here, maybe he's down press, maybe it's a linebacker that you feel like he's going to outrun, cool, we can take that. And you also got an out route there, probably at the stick. So a lot going on with this concept. Motion to empty. Obviously, man-to-man, everybody gets into the rush. Middle of the field's wide open. Throw that jerk route. Easy first down on 3rd and 9. Another play here on this time on a 4th and 2 with a lot going on. And to me, it looks like they're running either a bang 8 or a basic here to the backside. And motion Tez out here. And they're running basically a drive concept. So he works across here. He's at the sticks, corner, and maybe he's running an option route because he comes off, he's looking, and he's got outside leverage, so he breaks in to the middle of the field and it is wide open as well. But around this one, Dylan Gabriel, he starts his eyes here for whatever reason he gets off of it. I'd probably tell him, hey, we're pretty good here. I think it was one of those because this outside linebacker, he drops outside. He thinks he's going to drop right into the window. But instead, then he starts lifting vertically on that corner route. And it opens up wide open here for Tez. But he works to the back side after he sees that. Outside linebacker keeping outside leverage. And he finds a window right there in the middle of the field. We're throwing that basic. I mean, this is a huge play, guys. This is 38-30 in the 4th quarter with about 9 minutes on a 4th and 2. Obviously, you got to go for it right here. But you can just see how big a play this is. There's a guy right in his face. Dylan Gabriel does get hit as he's throwing this football, so this is a close play. This is why they brought him in there, to be able to go through a progression like this. Find that backside, be accurate with a guy, hit him right in his face. He's a heck of a player, man. That's a heck of a play, getting to the tight end right there, working to the middle of the field. Great throwing catch, great progression. Really interesting look. And you can see why he got off. With his linebacker, works outside. Don't feel good about this window here because it's basically 2-on-1, but then he starts lifting late, and that's why it looks wide open here. You can see why he progresses there to the backside and takes the completion right there on that basic. And we're going to look at the run game. Obviously, Oregon was a rush for 186 and really good run defense there for Penn State. And, I mean, really good defense and team in general. I think they're probably one of the top 4 or 5 teams easily. Really got a chance here in the playoff. But right here in this first run, it's just a simple truck. So a down block here by tight end. Pull this tackle, and he's pulling pretty tight because you got the strong safety to work down. And a two-back set, outside run. He's working that, so we got 2 guys off the edge. There's the kick for that guy that just rolled down pretty hard, and he's working up to the safety. So outnumbered here to the front side by Penn State's defense, especially with this outside linebacker firing in here. So right here, this is a great job. Stretch this thing wide, but we're a little bit outnumbered. There's a free hitter here is this middle linebacker. Nobody gets up to him. Everybody should be zoning there to it, but right there, 41's just got them outnumbered, and Penn State's defense really has them out leveraged as far as numbers. Right there, put your foot in the ground because you see the unblocked guy in that gap. Makes the guy miss. Now we're rolling. Once you increase that first level and everybody else is zoned up, they're up to the 2nd level. And right there, it turns into an explosive run. Of course, Noah Whittington, keeping his balance, being the explosive player that he is, does get tracked down. But great read right here and great run. I mean, this is not a perfect design because they do have a free hitter. Great job here by Penn State's defense, adjusting to that motion, that unbalanced set. But right there, good football players making a play, making the first guy miss, and turns into an explosive play there for Oregon's offense early in the game. Short yardage goal line. This is everybody's favorite play this year on the goal line. They're just running G lead right there, kicking the outside gap. Got a fullback leading here. Boom, kick. Everybody else is creating a wall. There's your fullback. He's got a lead in there. So he's got a play side shoulder. So we're going to be in the inside gap. Lead. Great job right here. You can see how hard that hat is by the fullback. And when we talk about hard hats, that means the guy's moving backwards. And right there, you just watch him boom on contact. All that happens is he just moves straight back. And then great job here by Jordan James, just finding a way, man. We're on the 6-inch line on 1st and goal. Find a way to get into the end zone. This is a great job here as well. Just finished on your feet. He just finds a crease, finishes on his feet into the end zone. Great job by the O-line. Great job by the fullback. That's the guy that absolutely makes his play work because his leverage is lower than he is, and he moves him back and even moves this linebacker or safety, whoever this is, into 41 as well. So basically takes care of 2 guys. And Tez up. Then Jordan James right there. Great job. Knowing what you need to do. Finish on your feet in the goal line to make sure the touchdown. This is a look here of Oregon's offense really catching Penn State in a bit of a stunt. So they motion in right here, 2nd and 1. He slants to the outside. He's already in outside gap, so basically it's just inside zone. Both these guys just work up to these linebackers. I think they're trying to do a middle X here probably, or some sort of a gap exchange. On this one, this is a great job just being patient with what you're doing. Center and guard right here on the backside double. Once he works out, great. I may put a hand, give a little presence, but I got to stay in this gap. Linebacker's firing in, boom, takes him. There's the front side guard as well, since he's already in this outside gap. If he stays out in this outside gap, I'm just going to work straight up to this linebacker on that. Whenever they try to gap exchange this, boom, work that up. So right there, really good job by both these guys here, the center and front side guard. And it's just a downhill run here out of the pistol. Easy hand, and we're rolling right through the A gap right here, which is what they want right there. 2nd and 1. The only unblocked guy right there is a safety filling in number 1. And again, explosive run. Great job there by Noah. Both him and Jordan James had 87 and 82 yards respectively. So both guys had pretty good nights. But right there, easy job there. Penn State's defense, they catch them in a bit of a slant, run blitz, whatever you want to call it, and then make them pay right there with an explosive play. Interesting look here, 3-back set really, and motion back. Everybody's just down blocking here. They're trying to turn it into a counter. He's going to kick, and he's going to go to lead. And this is not a perfect play here by any stretch of the imagination. They do get this thing edged a little bit. You got an inside gap here. He beats this tight end or tackle or extra line, whoever it is. They should be down blocking. The first step is really poor. Not sure what he's waiting on. Right there, you can see, looks like he steps to the outside foot. Should be stepping to the inside foot, trying to get your hat to the inside via the neck to wash him down, but instead gives up penetration. Once he gives up penetration, get lucky they doesn't get called for a hold. Instead of working up to the linebacker, the second puller, he's going to kick. Second puller right here is the guy that should be leading up for this linebacker, but he has to clean up here. And of course, Jordan James, you got to find a way into the end zone. It's not perfect. He fits over the top. Unblocked backer here as well. We've been talking about number 1 and seeing him a lot in this game, in this highlight, and he really doesn't make many plays. I know he's probably a great player, but he's a little bit stiff right here, late to the party, and gets ran through like had multiple times, and this guy just falls over his back. I mean, that's not a great look there either, but one had a tough night, especially on these big plays. They put him in a position where he's the guy that they wanted him to try to make plays, and he really never did. And right there you can just see, not putting his face in the fan, not a guy that's going to fly in there and stop the run, which is probably part of the game plan, I would think, for Oregon. Make him make plays, and he really struggled all night. So we saw Oregon's pass game, we saw their run game. Now we're going to look at their defense. They actually gave up nearly 300 yards rushing against Penn State. Again, Penn State's a good team, but when you get into the playoffs, you can't give up 300 yards rushing and expect to win. And, of course, this is a playoff team. This is a team that's really good and won. Hell, they may see the national championship or something like that. I really think Penn State's that good. But right here on this one, outside zone, and this is a great look here from Penn State. They're working this double up. They're working this double to here, and then these two guys are responsible for those two, and they're just working that outside zone path. So this is a really good look here. Again, just watching this double team here. Tight end gets a piece of him. Great job pushing him out, making sure he's in the outside gap, and then working up to that linebacker. And then great job here as well on the inside. Center, great job reaching. I mean, you got an A-gap player here. Gets that backside arm into the breastplate right there as he's working that outside hip. This is a great look here. Now you're up on that linebacker. And, of course, the backside double team as well. This tackle's got to work all the way to that front side. He actually skip pulls on this. You can see his left foot goes behind. So basically a skip pull as he's working across. Great job getting his shoulder pads across. Now he can work back almost like a box out here. Again, good cut here by the running back. Over pursues here by this backside guard. He jumps to the backside. Cool. Now he's just going to pin that thing, leave him in that gap. Now it's a big play. Now safeties have to make a play. Got to make this play. I mean, we can't turn this into a big play. You got to get him on the ground right here, but instead a little bit hesitant. And now it turns into an explosive play here for Penn State. Instead of being about a 10-yard gain, turns to a 20, 30-yard gain. Of course, this is in the first quarter, just kind of getting rolling here for Penn State. Here's a look of counter. So you're tight end, you got a fullback here, and really he's just working this inside gap. You got outside leverage here, 9 technique working down to here, and this guy's manned up on this tight end. And of course, this is their guy. This number 1 player they got is that tight end. So right there, he squeezes really hard right here, playing man-to-man. And when he squeezes, he gets out of position right here to fit this outside gap. There's a log. Great, so we'll pin him inside. Fullback gets around, leading up on whoever shows up. It ends up being the safety that's fitting so late because he's in man-to-man. Now, these guys taking care of the edge there as well. And again, backs out in space. This Katron Allen, he had 124 on 14 carries, but he's not the only guy that had over 100 yards. But right there, bounces it to the outside on that counter, playing man-to-man. Kind of messed up that fit. If you're playing man-to-man, I'd say, hey, we probably need to box this, which by box I mean play outside and push this back to all these other guys. They're trying to get off blocks. But right there, playing man, they squeeze it. Now they get out on the edge, and really there's nobody left there to fit it. Here's a look of a great play, an empty look, motion in, and they're just running power read here with Drew Aller, which I think that's kind of a new wrinkle for these guys. I don't really think Aller's just a guy that they've been trying to run a lot, but they know that these guys are going to squeeze, especially with this empty look. With 4 into the boundary, you can see how far everybody's bumped over. But this is a great play here by Bryce Bocher. I mean, it's one of those things, he squeezes, it's going to be a hand read, and middle linebacker coming from the middle of the field, having to get out there on a pretty good athlete. This is Nicholas Singleton. They actually went for over 100 yards, but right here on this one, Bryce tracks the guy down. This is a great job working inside out, tracking a hip, getting him on the ground right there for negative 2-yard loss right here. Great play there by the inside linebacker. This is a great look here and pretty good concept here by Penn State. He's actually going to the flat route. Of course, again, that's the guy you got to take care of. Whenever he goes to the flat, it eliminates this guy right here. Safety's fitting into the box pretty hard. But it's just inside zone. So right there, double team up. These guys are going to double team up, and there's really nobody left. So right there, as you see, 72, he works in. And right here, the guard, he's stepping up. There ain't nobody left. Safety is way too wide. He's looking around. He actually turns, and he's looking back at the running back. Like, what the hell's going on? And that thing creases right down the middle of the field. So right there, Oregon's defense stretched sideline to sideline. This is 2nd and 8, so it's not 3rd and long. But right here, safety fits too far outside. Should slow down and see this and fit into the box a little bit better. But instead, fits outside and starts to explosive play. And right here, this is really when Penn State's really getting rolling on this. So they just had another big run. And now another explosive run right here. Katron Allen, of course, straight sideline to sideline like that, you got to make plays in the box. And right here on this one, D tackle doesn't make the play. He does fall in late. So right here, he does get extension on this tackle. But when he falls in, he just misses an arm tackle right here on this one. He doesn't get his body on him. As you see, he's reaching. And if he gets a good running back, you're never going to get that guy on the ground with an arm. So right there, runs through the arm tackle, big play. There for Penn State, run through Oregon's defense. This is a look here of a play that I thought was just a little bit bad awareness here. But, I mean, it's outside zone. This was a play where they creased him earlier, and they're faking like they're blocking the end, and they're working out. So right here, squeeze, and he's surfing. His eyes are on the quarterback. You just got to understand, hey, this is not the starter. So this is the backup guy who likes to run a lot. So you've got to sit on that guy a little bit harder. You can't really squeeze. Just that little slide is the difference right there in allowing the quarterback to get out. He's not able to run him down right here. He just circles the defense. Great job there. Tight end just getting a piece of him. Now, again, that's the reason why he's in the game. He's going to run the football if you give him a chance to. If not, of course, if you sit, great. Let these guys in the box do their job, take care of it. Of course, earlier they did crease him with that, but make those guys, allow those guys to do their job. Don't just make it a one-on-one with you and that quarterback, and you'd already squeeze and you just get outran right there. Turns into a big play. Just got to have a little bit better awareness there by the defensive end. Of course, that's young Uyangalele, so he's probably got some football awareness, I would think. But right there, you just got to know, hey, backup quarterback's in the game. We got to sit on that guy a little bit harder. Instead, just that little bit of the squeeze is the difference. Allows the quarterback to get on the edge. Of course, it wasn't all bad for Oregon's defense. Obviously, the running game and how they fitted up and how Penn State was able to gash them was really an issue. 300 yards rushing. If they can shore that up, I think they're the best team by far in the country, but you can't be giving up 300 yards rushing against anybody in this playoff. But anyway, right here, got a couple turnovers that were huge in the game, and on this one, they're going to sit here with tight end and receiver, whatever you want to call them, working across. They're working basically a levels concept here. And on this one, quarterback starts here. He doesn't like to fade out. Now I'm working my Y cross, basically. Check out there by the running back there as well. Right here, Aller's just a little bit late with the football, and he's behind. You see this is just on that back shoulder. He throws one hand. Great job here with tight coverage by Dante Manning. I mean, this thing, he's like a blanket on this, and he just undercuts this. It's a little bit behind, turns to an interception. And of course, in terms of interception, you got to have guys that want to score. And right here on this one, catches it, and you see everybody, hey, we're turning, we're helping out. We only got about 20 yards, 24 yards. And right there, Dante Manning outruns everybody, runs through an arm tackle right there, trying to make a play right there. Gets just enough of them. Oh, so close, man. Gets to the 1 yard line. That was a heck of a play. Great coverage. Would have loved to have seen him finish in the end zone. Of course, they do score the next play. But this is a big play in the game. Obviously, already up 21-10. But we know how tight this game got at the end. So a huge play in the grand scheme of everything. Get that interception, give them basically a touchdown because they scored on the next play. Last play right here, which ends up being an interception for Oregon for the turnover, really to seal the game. Obviously, right here, only up by 8, so one possession game, and they're just throwing a fade right here. And it ends up being a too high look, but this is a great play by Nico Reed here on this one. And reason being, he doesn't freak out. Boom, he releases, great. There ain't no reason to just grab. Or I'm in a great position right here. I'm just got my eyes on the receiver in a good position. I'm over the top. And Drew Aller just lays this thing out there, okay? He does get hands into him, gets hip to hip. But you know what? I'm not going to freak out. I'm not going to grab. I'm in a great position to split hands if I need to, but I've got time, and gets his eyes around, locates the football right here. This is a great play. And boom, he basically boxes him out. You want to try to push him to the sideline. Don't give him any room for the throw to happen. They got to be a perfect throw right here. As you see, he's almost on the tick. So it's a great job widening the receiver. And just turns around, right in his pocket. So great job right there. Just body control, widening that receiver. As a receiver, you got to own your space. You can't let him push you all the way to the ticks like he does right here on this one. So I thought this was an awesome play. Not panicking. You're in a great position. Maybe getting hands right there in the middle of his chest. Might want to get that a little bit lower, not right there, maybe more to the hip. But I thought this was a good play. Don't panic. Finish with the ball in your hands. And that ends the game right there for Oregon. With all that being said, man, that was an awesome game against two really good teams. I think Penn State's got as good a chance as anybody. And, of course, Oregon, again, if they can shore up that defensive front and shore up those fits and not give up 300 yards rushing, that was really concerning, especially with the teams they might face in the playoff. But they are the best team, the most solid team all the way around. They got explosive guys on offense. Their O-line has really come around. I think they probably have the best quarterback in the playoff. And their defense is solid. They do make plays. Like right here, they're +2 in turnovers, and they still only won by 8. I mean, it's one of those things that whenever you give up 300 rushing yards, you're going to allow guys to stay in the game. So we've got to shore that up if they're going to be national champions. And I think that they got as good a chance as anybody to make that happen. So really appreciate you guys watching. If you're still here with us, click on this video right here. It's what YouTube thinks you'll like. We'll see you guys again next video.